Hello, my name is Jeffrey Wyrick, and I'd like to welcome you back to the Easy Squeeze Page Generator video tutorial series. Today we're going to go over the Guarantee Creator. But before we go into any detail with that, I want to explain the importance of a good guarantee and why we use it. You'll notice that right here we have the order page of AWeber pulled up, and right at the top you see 30-day money-back guarantee. In fact, you'll notice that more and more a lot of the larger companies and more successful marketers are using these, not just with the seals, but also at the bottom of the website, so that they know that just before you ask for their money, just before you tell them to take action and click here to buy now or add to cart or whatever option you're using, they know that you're going to give them 100% of their money back if they're not absolutely satisfied with whatever services or products that they may have purchased from you. It is extremely crucial that you use this tool in your arsenal when you're building a website and trying to create some kind of a trust value, because you have to understand this customer has never seen you in most cases. They may have never heard of you. In fact, coming from where we're dealing with them, in most cases they've come through Google, or they've come through banners, or they've come through some kind of pay-per-click or some kind of ad swap, solo ad, whatever means that you've used to get them on your website. They're looking at a squeeze page where they've opted in for a free offer, then they're going to an upsell, and they have absolutely no idea what to think unless these people are already on your list and they're regular customers. Now, of course, in that case, you don't have to worry about it as much, but the truth is the majority of the people that are seeing your offers are not current customers. They're people that are just looking at your offer for the first time. Yesterday in our last video, when we talked about the Belcher button, another thing you might want to research is what Perry Belcher called 43 things. Anyone that has any doubts about any of this, one of the things that he goes into great detail about in his 43 things is the importance of using some kind of a guaranteed seal. And this isn't just hearsay or assumption or a few random statistics. Perry actually took the time to do a study about these 43 things, and one of them had to do with the amount of profits that were lost between the sales page, the ordering process, and what he called shopping cart abandonment. It is vital, absolutely vital, that before they click that button, they know that they're guaranteed. And if you have any control over the ordering process itself, you want them to be reminded at every opportunity that they can get 100% of their money back if they're not absolutely satisfied. Doing this has shown a statistical increase of anywhere from 10 to 35% of the people who would have otherwise abandoned your shopping cart. But I digress. Let me step back. This isn't about just marketing. I realize that using our generator isn't automatically going to make you a better marketer or make anybody else a better marketer just because they've watched this video. But I will tell you that if you use this information, if you use these tools, and if you make sure that the customer that you're dealing with feels comfortable with the fact that you're going to give their money back if they're not satisfied, you have a greater chance of closing the sale. And that is, after all, what we're here for, to build a relationship with the prospect, earn their trust, and have ongoing business with them, because gradually they are beginning to know, like, and trust you. I'm not going to go into all that in any depth, but it starts here. And it starts before they even click buy now or add to cart. It starts right here with your guarantee. So let's get into that. Let's take a look at our tools. Let's close the AWeber site. Before we open this up, if you're not using AWeber, I highly recommend it. It's the tool that you're going to notice that I'm using in a lot of my tutorials. And the reason for that is that I've spent the last 7 years designing lead generation pages, squeeze pages, name squeeze pages. You can call them whatever you want. I'm not saying that I've got millions of people on my email list. I do know that at one time we had 147,000 or 148,000, and that's not to brag because they're not all buyers. You'll learn that too over time. What I have learned, though, is that AWeber is bar none the fastest, easiest, and probably one of the best supported tools available. And they've got a really nice library of tutorial videos on how to use their software that you can sign up and have little mini webinars that you can watch just like this one. Anyhow, you'll notice that there's a link over here on the site. in the members area. And if there's not one currently, I'll make sure there is one by the end of this week so that you can actually click and join Aweber if you'd like to. But for now, let's just take a look at the Guarantee Certificate Creator. Let's launch our wizard. Open this up. Here's our Guarantee Creator. Click Next Step. There we go. Now you'll notice that when it first loads, it's extremely plain. And the reason for this is that some people don't want to be overly extravagant. This is something that is completely optional. It's up to you how you want to approach it. The important factor is that you do approach it. However, I will tell you that if it doesn't stand out, if it doesn't grab their attention, if it doesn't grab the eyeballs, then they're probably going to miss it and they're not going to feel that feeling of, hey, this is a great offer and I'm guaranteed to get my money back if I'm not happy. So let's take a look at the options and see what we can do to jazz this up a little bit. Now we're going to start on the left like we've done in the other videos where it says background menu. And you'll notice that the first option is no background. The second option is note paper. Now this one here is a really simple, attractive, yet eye-catching feature that I like, but it doesn't really scream guarantee. Depending on your offer, I mean, if this is a $7 offer or a $1 trial, this might be enough. But in some cases, you may want to dress that up a little bit more. So let's see what else we have. We have the Classic Clean, a very official looking offer of guarantee. We have the option to frame it and make it even fancier. Or we can step back and make it look like it's literally taped to the page. The next one is Pride and Joy, another certificate. Then we have the Clean Green, which is a little bit of a mixture of both, where it looks like there's rolled paper on the edges down here on the right and up here on the left. And then lastly, we have Classic Blue. I can tell you personally, after using the Classic Blue, that it does a really nice job. And one of the reasons I think it does that is because blue is a very soothing color. It's very calming. I'm very big on market research and the effect of color psychology. And I've used this to do business deals that have brought me in anywhere from several hundreds of dollars to several thousands of dollars. And if you're just getting started, this is definitely something for you to consider. Use a proven option. Again, though, this is entirely up to you what you choose to use. It's your choice. This is just my recommendation to use blue. It's really a nice, attractive option. Here's another one that's blue. And we do have some green ones. This looks really official. I've seen this used on a lot of sites. I like the blue ones. That's just me. Anyhow, let's move forward. The next section we see in the middle, we see Graphic Add-ons menu. And you'll notice that we have no seal by default. But as we move on, we can use the wax seal. Now this kind of makes it look a little bit more official. And it also helps to grab more attention. Another option is the stamp seal, or the Stamp 2 seal that says 100% risk-free. Then there's the golden seal. I've used this several times. And then there's the badge. This is probably one of my favorites. So for now, since we're just creating a demonstration image, let's stick with this one. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here to where it says Color and Text Effects menu. But before we go into changing the colors, because I'm sure if you've seen any of the other videos, you know that this is fairly simple. Let's take a look at the header styles, or H1. H stands for header, by the way, and now in most cases this refers to this area right up here, which is the header. But with our tool, you'll notice that it changes the other elements as well, just a little bit, so that we have more chances to give it a little bit more pizzazz. Let's check out header number 2, header number 3, header number 4, header number 5, and header number 6. Now the idea here again is to pick something that you feel more comfortable with. Something that you feel is going to grab their attention, but at the same time make them feel more comfortable. Like they're really not at any risk by investing their money with you. Now I'm going to stick with the default option because I think it looks best. It's just my opinion again. You can do this any way you want. And our next step before editing text, we want to make sure that our colors stay the way we want them. And since I like that dark blue that we mentioned in the last video, I think we're going to stick with that, but I think I want to go with a little bit of a softer dark blue. Kind of like that. And the main copy, I think we're going to actually make that black. That's the verbiage on it. And then we're going to come down here for the PS copy. And we're going to make that the same basic color as the header. Now down at the bottom, you'll notice that there's a divider color. And that's that piece right here, I believe. Let's take a look. Yep. It's the part between the text and the header, and then the text and the PS copy. It appears that we can change this just a little bit by scrolling over the different options. I think what I'm going to do is, again, stick with the blues. And I'm going to use this color. Okay, now that we have all of our main options chosen, let's take a look at editing our text. We already told them right here that it's 100% risk-free. And while we can't edit this, we can edit this part right up here. We can tell them something like 60-day money-back guarantee. Or, since that seems a little wide, we could just tell them money-back guarantee. Next, we're going to go down here and we're going to change this up a little bit. It says if you are not 100% on fire and totally jazzed. Let's just change this out a little bit. Totally pumped up. If you're even the slightest bit underwhelmed, if for any reason you decide you aren't completely satisfied, then just email me within the first, let's say, 90 days. And I'll refund your first month's fees. Let's edit that out. No questions asked. It appears that's already down here. Without any hassles. You won't be charged another dime after that. No questions asked. Let's see if we can make this line up just a little bit. Here we go. From our staff. And since this is supposed to be a sentence, let's get rid of the line and start it with a T. This is my personal guarantee to you. Now you can edit this any way you want. Like I said earlier, this is just what I'm doing. You can do this any way you want. Our lifetime guarantee. Again, going back to Perry Belcher's 43 things, one of the things that he learned that people were extremely responsive to was the fact that they wanted to know that if they were ever dissatisfied, that they could cancel and get their money back. Without hassle, without questions, without problems. So let's edit this out just a little bit more to make it a little bit more attractive to their eyes, say. Let's come down here. If for any reason you decide you aren't completely satisfied, then just email me and let's take that time limit. Let's take this down. Now this one's a little bit simpler. I took out some of the verbiage because it's a lifetime guarantee. I'm telling them that if for any reason at any point in time that they're ever dissatisfied, all they have to do is contact me and I will refund their first month's fees. Now I will tell you that if this is a membership of some sorts, you may want to be very careful with the verbiage that you use. I've often heard it said that the devil is in the details. If the person pays a setup fee, for example, you could easily find yourself losing hundreds of dollars and having to pay your staff for services that were rendered for someone that just suddenly changed their mind. And I will tell you that marketers change their mind constantly. It's shiny thing syndrome. They're going to look at one thing and then they're going to poof go on to another. In fact, I have no doubt in my mind that before you came to my product, the majority of you probably looked at 5 or 10 others. And before you're done with your marketing career, you may look at 5 or 10 or even more other squeeze page options. I don't have a problem with that. I just want to give you the tools and the training to get you started. And one of those things is definitely a good guaranteed offer. Now think about this for just a minute before we save our image and bring the video to a close. If the customer is happy, if you're happy, seriously think about that. If you're happy and you like the service, why on earth would you ever cancel? And even if you do, if it worked for what you needed until you were able to get something better or something more ornate or whatever the reason was, then you're going to be happy to keep what you've purchased. You're not as likely to be asking for a refund if you paid $20, $30, $50, $100, or even a few $1,000s. You're not as likely to be asking for a refund. It's all about perceived value. And of course, you do have to actually follow through and provide the value when you're done. But if they don't believe there's going to be value on the other side, they're not going to click that add to cart, buy now, Belcher button, or whatever it is that you've got below, because they don't feel that if they're not happy, that you're going to be an honest enough person to give their money back. Have to make them comfortable. Anyhow, I've gone into way too much detail about the marketing end of this. I do hope that I've covered the options on the page enough. If you have any questions, of course, like I mentioned in all the other videos, you're welcome to email me or hit me up on Skype. But for now, I think we're just going to come down here and click Save Graphic as JPG. Absolutely beautiful. Right click, copy image, open up GIMP. I do want to point out here before this actually loads, one of the things that I did in the past, because I didn't understand that I need to use the copy image function, was I would come over here with a screen capture tool and actually just crop this out. I do not recommend that. If you do that, you'll notice there's a little bit of blue down here on the tool. It's gonna show up. Whereas if you come over here, you'll notice you have a nice clean white background. Anyhow, let's come over and inspect our element and check our metrics. That's interesting. For some reason, it minimized the image size. If it does that to you, you'll notice that you can just click here on the image. You want it at full size, otherwise you'll notice down here that it changes. Unless, of course, you want it to automatically shrink for you. I don't want that. I want to at least start with a larger image that I can shrink if I need to. So we're going to start right here with an image that is 526 by 320. Again, we're going to copy image, new image, 526 by 320, open. Now you can use the Control V if you're using Windows. If you're not using Windows, just simply come over here, click Edit, and paste. It doesn't look like it needs to be cropped, so let's come down to File and Save As. Okay, and in this case, I'm saving it as our lifetime guarantee .jpg. I've mentioned this in the other videos. It's extremely important with GIMP, if you're using GIMP that is, to remember .jpg. I did make one of these earlier. I'm just going to save it over that. It's the same basic image. You can use the option to replace as you can with almost any other tool. Tell it to export and then remind it again that yes, you want to save. Now, if for any reason you want to lower or raise the quality of the level, you're more than welcome to. You can check your advanced options. Normally though, for your website, this should be just fine. So I'm going to just click Save, and we're done. Let's confirm that we actually have it over here. You see over here the Add to Cart button, the two Belcher buttons that we made. Some of these other images you might recognize from other videos. And right here, we have our lifetime guarantee certificate. There we go, guys. And as always, if you have any questions, please feel free. Send me an email. Message me on Skype. I have no problem providing you with support. I want to see you succeed. And I want to be able to go on helping you in any way that I possibly can. But for now, we're going to bring this video to a close. Have a great day.